This is a question that I get all the time, and I hear a lot of people have. Can the Mediterranean diet be vegetarian? To do this, I will be describing the 3 key components to know if this diet can be effectively vegetarian in meeting all of your health needs. If you're new here or you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Dr. Anna. I'm a medical doctor. I was trained in Italy in the heart of the Mediterranean region. I have lived this diet. I love this diet, and I want to help explore for you different things to think about when it comes to the Mediterranean diet. You may have heard of the Mediterranean diet for being famous in how rich it is in omega-3 fatty acids. And part of what makes this diet famous is that it supports the consumption of seafood more than meat, like poultry or red meat. Now, if you're a traditional vegetarian, you're not interested in eating fish. So you might be wondering, if you're not eating fish, can you still eat the Mediterranean diet? To answer this question effectively, let's break down these 3 core components that you need to think about in order to decide if this diet can be a vegetarian version for yourself. And listen carefully, because the 3rd one is the most crucial to know. So the first essential piece of information to know about the Mediterranean diet, it is rooted in a lot of plant-based foods. So the bulk of this diet is made up of whole grains. These are things like oats, spelt, rye, millet seed, which is kind of a pseudo grain, as well as other pseudo grains like farro, quinoa, as well as many varieties of wheat. And then there are also lots of vegetables and fruits. So any vegetable you can think of and any fruit you can think of is a core component of the Mediterranean diet. And these foods should be eaten in an unlimited fashion. And the other foods that are essential components of the Med diet are plant-based foods like legumes, things like beans or lentils. And then finally, we have nuts and seeds. And these, of course, come from plants. By the way, if you're finding this information useful so far, please subscribe to my channel because I have a lot more useful information to share with you. Okay, so what's the second thing that is essential about the Mediterranean diet to know if it can be vegetarian or not? It is that the Mediterranean diet emphasizes food quality over deciding specific foods that are involved. This is a core philosophy of the Mediterranean diet and really of all cultures surrounding the Mediterranean Sea. They emphasize the quality of the ingredients of their food, which is part of what make all of the dishes so darn tasty. And the 3rd thing you need to understand about the Mediterranean diet to know if it can be vegetarian is that the Mediterranean diet's really not a diet. Big shocker. And that might sound crazy to you. It is a misnomer, in my opinion, that we even call it a diet in the first place, because it truly is a philosophy of eating and a lifestyle approach to eating. So the Mediterranean diet is called the Mediterranean diet because it comes from the cultures surrounding the Mediterranean Sea, and these cultures tend to eat very slow, long meals. Their approach to cooking is also slow, and the meals are often social. The nice thing about the Mediterranean diet is there are no hard and fast restrictions on what foods you should eat, but it really focuses on the amount of which kinds of foods you're eating. It emphasizes whole foods in their natural form, the way they come from nature, and foods that are unprocessed. So these are essentially going to be mostly plant-based foods, which is part of why people call this a plant-based diet, which touches on the food categories we already spoke about. And this is such an essential thing to understand. There is nothing that is technically off limits when it comes to the Mediterranean diet. We just want to be mindful of how much we're eating of different things, even things like sweets or alcohol. They can be eaten, but in limited amounts. So now let me ask you, can the Mediterranean diet be a vegetarian diet based off of everything that we just talked about? I hope you're screaming from the top of your lungs. Absolutely it can. And it is delicious in a vegetarian variety. So if you're a vegetarian out there, please consider adopting a Mediterranean approach to eating. This diet is so nourishing, so nutrient dense, and decreases your risk for so many chronic diseases. There are just not enough good things I can even say about this diet. Also, if you are finding this video helpful, please like the video and share it with somebody else who you know is a vegetarian or is considering being a vegetarian and doesn't really know how to think about making sure their diet is healthful and including all the nutrition they need. Well, make sure that they understand that if they approach a vegetarian diet from the philosophy of the Mediterranean diet, they are going to check off all the boxes. However, if you're not satisfied with what we talked about today and you just have to know more, you need to check out my video right here where I dive into the essential things you need to know to get started with the Mediterranean diet. So it will set you up to the path of success. I'll see you over there.